I am with you, and I am speaking to you now. Do not let your heart sprint away from this moment, because I have placed 30 minutes like 30 lamps along a path that delivers you from confusion into clarity. You have felt the tremor in the air, the hush at the edge of your breath, and you have wondered if you were imagining it. You were not. I am drawing you to a table I set before time taught you to fear, and on that table is a sealed letter with your name written in a hand you recognize but cannot place, a hand that trembles with love and truth. You will hear a knock in your spirit before you hear a knock at your door, and when you open, whether it is a door of wood or a door inside your chest, you will discover that what the world withheld from you was never lost. It was safeguarded until your courage returned. Do not skip this. Do not let this hour pass as though it were ordinary. I did not design it to be ordinary. I designed it to be a key. You have been faithful when the room was empty and the ceiling felt heavy. You have loved through delay, and you have kept walking in circles you did not choose because you believed I was still leading you. I was. I used the circles to soften what bitterness tried to harden, and I used the waiting to teach your eyes to see beyond the surface of every smile and every promise. The letter that is coming carries words that cancel old shadows. It contains names that once frightened you and dates that felt like stones in your stomach. It contains an amount, but more than an amount, it contains an announcement. What is being restored to you is not only the measure that was withheld, it is the honor that was bruised. I do not return coins without returning dignity. I do not return land without planting joy upon it. I do not restore the structure while leaving the foundation cracked. I am making all things new in you, so that when the envelope splits and the paper breathes, you will not tremble as a beggar but receive as a child of promise. Archangel Michael stands at your threshold with a sword that does not spill blood but severs lies. He is the sentinel of your turning point, and he says to you, do not delay. The hour has a door, and the door has a hinge, and the hinge is the courage of your yes. He has wrestled through corridors you could not enter, unhooked snares hidden in polite contracts, and scattered the crows that fed on your doubts. He is not here to frighten you but to frighten what has been hunting you, the narrative that says you are too late, too small, too complicated to bless. That narrative is the counterfeit letter that always arrives first, with cheap paper and loud ink. Reject it. The true letter arrives quiet. It carries the fragrance of prayers you forgot you prayed. It carries the dust of journeys you did not know were for you. Michael says there are 3 seals on your inheritance: the seal of timing, the seal of truth, and the seal of testimony. The timing opens now. The truth is written clearly. And the testimony will carry you farther than money can count, because it will place on your tongue a story that loosens the chains of those listening in silence. Jesus speaks to you as the friend who stayed when the room emptied. He says, you feared you would be punished for wanting good news. You feared that generosity would mock you. But I have written your name where moth cannot chew and rust cannot dim. The letter is not a lottery, it is a lineage. It does not tempt you to greed, it invites you to stewardship. He touches the inside of your hand and you feel a steadying warmth, like a lamp lit from within, and he whispers, I have gone ahead of you to the desk where your name is written. I have stood beside the scribe. I have guided the pen. I have lifted the weight from your neck so that when you read, you will read in light and not in dread. He is not scolding you for your questions. He has folded your questions into the margin notes of this moment, so that when you read the letter you will understand why the path bent and why the door seemed to move further each time you reached for it. It did not move further, I was widening the room you were about to enter. 30 minutes. Some will imagine it is a watch wound tight with panic, but I tell you, it is a ribbon tying together what seemed scattered beyond gathering. Each minute is a bead of oil, and as they fall, they anoint your memory. You will begin to remember with accuracy instead of ache. You will remember the conversation when you were told, don't expect anything, and you will hear, beneath that voice, the thirst of someone who feared you would become free. You will remember the day you signed your name and felt unsheltered, and you will see my hand covering your signature. You will remember the voice that laughed at your hope, and you will see that they laughed because they were afraid of what your hope would build. Do not become small to make others more comfortable in their scarcity. I did not plant you to grow into a shadow. I planted you to stand like a cedar that refuses to apologize for its height. The sender of the letter is a surprise, and yet when you see the name, you will say softly, of course. A person who once stood at the edge of your life, neither an enemy nor the friend you expected, has stepped into courage. They have been nudged in dreams and in days, and they have chosen to face a room of faces for the sake of your restoration. It is not their power that makes the letter true, it is my justice. But I will honor their yes, and they will be blessed for not silencing the truth to protect a comfortable lie. Do not let suspicion poison what I am making pure. Test everything, yes, but do not crucify a gift because former gifts had strings. This one does not have strings, it has roots. It will not yank you into obligation, it will anchor you into clarity. You have thought to yourself, if an inheritance arrives, will it change me? It will. It must. But it will not intoxicate you, it will sober you. You will look at bills that once bullied you and you will smile without arrogance. You will look at projects that once looked too tall and you will feel your hands opening. You will forgive debts you carried in your heart, and not because you are naive, but because you are free. And you will set boundaries like fences that mark celebration rather than punishment. The wealth I send does not make you shout at those who have little, it equips you to lift them without breaking your own back. The influence I send does not make you hunger for applause, it makes you hunger for accuracy, words measured, promises kept, time honored. Michael says there are signatures trying to hide behind other signatures. He has already pulled them into the light. He says, "Look carefully, but do not fear. What is clean will remain clean under scrutiny." He places his hand upon the envelope and the seal warms like sunrise on frost. He whispers your name the way it is pronounced in heaven, where every syllable is a window to your calling, and you feel your spine straighten. You are not about to receive mercy as an accident, you are walking into mercy as a vocation. The letter confirms this, not only that you receive, but that you are entrusted with the art of distributing joy. You will fund the mending of what your tears have already baptized. You will bless quietly and wisely. You will know when to tell and when to fold a testimony close to your heart for a season. You will not be performative. You will be prophetic. I am removing the spirit of scramble from your days. The chase ends. The scavenger hunt ends. The feeling that you live by catching crumbs falling from someone else's table ends. I am setting you at a table with bread that does not harden and wine that does not sour. And I am teaching you a rhythm: receive, rejoice, release. If you try to hoard what I give, it will grow heavy. If you release what is meant to be planted, it will multiply in wonder rather than in worry. Your generosity will not be a spectacle, it will be a stealth river. It will find the thirsty and arrive as dew. You will not draw maps for your kindness as much as you will follow my wind. There is an address already written upon your giving. You will recognize it when you see the face that looks like your own pain healed. The one who tried to keep this letter from you will hear about your joy and feel a tremor in their plans. Do not use your tongue to punish them. Your peace will preach louder than any accusation. I have ways of circling a person with the very light they fought. I do not humiliate to teach, I illuminate to free. If they choose to step into honesty, you will witness a harvest you thought impossible. If they refuse, I will still protect you. The ship carrying your inheritance has already slipped past their nets. In the minutes that remain, place your hand over your chest and breathe slowly. Say aloud, even if softly, I agree with the restoration of heaven. I agree with the courage of truth. I agree with the timing of God. You are not casting a spell, you are aligning a heart. Agreement is the gate. Fear will knock and call itself wisdom. Let it speak, then bless it and return it to silence. There is a tremble inside you that is not dread, it is recognition. You are walking into a room where your name has been spoken kindly, and your soul is stretching to fit the kindness. Jesus is standing near the door. He carries no scrolls of accusation, only a towel and a basin. He kneels on the threshold of your next chapter and washes away the dust of your last detour. I am not embarrassed by your stumbling, he says. I am delighted by your rising. The water sparkles like new beginnings, and you feel the shame that lingered in your ankle bones wash into forgetfulness. He dries your feet with a gentleness that does not make you fragile but makes you ready. When you step across this threshold, you will not track the dirt of yesterday into your tomorrow. This is what holiness looks like, not a performance, but a clean step. The courier I have chosen may be a person, a phone call, an email, a message in a system that once ignored you. But you will know. You will know because I am training your eyes to recognize my handwriting even when it arrives through ordinary ink. Stay present. Stay kind to your body, drink water, breathe, be still for a moment. The soul that has been sprinting to be seen can now rest in being found. Do not despise the small acts of order you feel compelled to do now, tidying a corner, making a list, setting aside a token of gratitude. These are the first bricks of your new structure. Build them without panic. Build them with music in the room, even if the music is only the rhythm of your breath. I speak also to the memory of what you lost. I call it by name and I bless the part of you that survived. You have tried to move on by amputating your hope. That is not necessary anymore. We will not pretend it didn't hurt. We will not romanticize what betrayed you. But we will allow it to be compost, pain turned fertile, so that what grows from here is not naive but wise, not timid but tender. Your heart will not become a museum of betrayals. It will be a greenhouse of beginnings. When you receive the letter, do not clutch it like a life raft. Read it like a map. It is not the destination, it is a direction. There are places you will go because of this, and people you will become because of this. Michael stands and raises his sword, not to intimidate you but to signal completion, and a thin line of light unfurls from the tip and hangs in the air like a horizon drawn closer. This is your line, he says, the line between almost and actually. You have lived for long stretches at almost, almost seen, almost paid, almost chosen, almost loved without conditions. That line has now been crossed by a truth big enough to carry you. You will not go back to ask the old gatekeepers if you may pass. The gates are open because the King has walked through them with you. You are tempted to ask, why me? Ask instead, what for? I have chosen you because I love you without accounting, and I am restoring you because restoration reveals my heart. But I am also entrusting you so you may become an answer you once begged for. There is a child somewhere rehearsing a speech they must give to a door that refuses to open. You will fund the door and teach them a new tongue. There is an elder somewhere counting medicine and meals. You will create a margin that tastes like Sabbath. There is an artist somewhere who keeps their miracle rolled up in a closet. You will commission them to paint the future on walls that were used to hide fear. Your inheritance is not a throne to collapse upon, it is a lamp to carry into rooms that forgot the morning. Do not boast. Do not apologize. Bless and be bold. If you run into those who misunderstand, release them into my patience. If you meet those who suddenly remember your number, answer with a heart that knows how to say no without becoming cruel. Let your yes be clear and your no be clean. Structure is not unspiritual, it is the trellis where fruit grows heavy and does not fall before ripening. You will learn how to sign and to unsign, how to open and to close, how to build and to rest. And you will laugh again in a way that makes others turn to see where the river is, because your laughter will sound like water. I am healing your sleep. The nights that used to feel like a courtroom will become like a cinema of futures where I show you possibilities without accusing you of failures. Michael will stand at your window. Jesus will sit by your bed and hum the oldest lullaby, the one sung when light first called out the day. You will wake before alarms and feel a soft strength in your bones, the kind that makes work sweet and lifts the heaviness from tasks you once dragged behind you. Do not be surprised if some friendships loosen as you change pace. Honor what was, bless what is, and allow me to send those who match the new measure. When the letter arrives, do not perform surprise for those who never believed, simply be present. Read. Ask your questions aloud. Listen. Then place your hand on your chest and say, "Thank you for trusting me." Celebrate with simplicity. Food, laughter, a few faces who told the truth when truth felt unfashionable. Mark the day not as a jackpot but as a covenant. I receive to release, I gather to sow, I prosper to protect. You will look back on this and say, that was the hour I stopped living like a guest in my own life. Now, as the minutes fold, I bless your doorway, your inbox, your doorstep, your inner room. I bless the courier, the signer, the witness, the clerk, the unseen person who whispered, "This is right." I bless the ink, the data, the ledger, the archive, the stamp, the code, the seal. I bless your eyes to see what is written and your heart to carry what is implied. I bless your feet to walk into the next appointment without shrinking. I bless your name to feel at home in goodness. And I bless your future to welcome you with peace rather than pressure. Do not skip this. Do not trade this hour for a scroll of distractions. Sit with me. Breathe with me. I am not late, and neither are you. The letter is a sign, not a substitute for my presence. Keep me nearer than your relief. Keep me dearer than your plans. If you feel overwhelmed, remember, I am not asking you to become impressive, I am inviting you to become available. The world will recognize my handwriting on your life. They will ask how you opened the door. You will answer, I listened when love knocked, and I trusted the light. Jesus smiles at you now, not from a distance but as a brother who knows your voice in a crowd. We have walked this far together, he says, and we will walk the rest. Michael nods, sentinel and friend, and turns his face towards whatever still tries to prowl near your peace. You are covered. You are claimed. You are called by a name that will never be edited out of the book I write. Go ahead, open what I have sent. Let your fingers touch the edge of the envelope. Let your breath steady. Let your heart expand to the size of the truth it is built to hold. This is for you. This is not a trick. This is the hour I set aside for you long before sorrow learned your address. Receive it now, and walk with me into the clarity that cannot be threatened by the noise of those who did not write this story. 30 minutes is enough time for a lifetime to turn. Even now it is turning. Even now the future is standing from its chair and stepping toward you with a smile that looks like sunrise over water. Take my hand. Read my note in the note they deliver. Keep your eyes bright. Keep your spirit gentle. And remember, an inheritance is not merely what you get, it is what you are free to give without losing yourself. Today, I free you. Today, I return to you what was spoken over you before the world tried to bargain it away. Open quickly. It is just for you. Do not try to skip this. I am here. I am speaking. And I will not fail. I am speaking to you now because time has thinned like the edge of a silver blade, and what is written with your name upon it is already in motion. Do not rush past these words. Do not treat them as ordinary. 30 minutes are inscribed upon this moment like numbers burning on a clock you can feel in your chest. Every breath you draw is a second turning, and with each turn, the letter draws closer, the one addressed to you with a hand you thought would never write to you again. I am telling you plainly, without riddles, a letter bearing shocking news about your inheritance is arriving. You will not believe who sent it, but disbelief cannot cancel the seal that has already been set, and disbelief cannot stop a messenger already on the road. Listen. The Lord has watched the corridors of your days. I have seen your patience ache under the weight of small disappointments that kept pretending to be normal life. You have walked between people who did not understand the language of your tears, and you taught your heart to be quiet so it wouldn't scare the shallow listeners away. Heaven counted those quietings. Jesus placed each one like a bead onto a cord that ran straight to the Father, and nothing you swallowed back was wasted. It was measured. It was remembered. It became oil in a lamp that waited for this hour. Now the flame lifts. There is a signature written in mercy and a return address stitched with providence. You imagined blessings would arrive as loud fireworks, but many of my gifts move like a quiet procession at night, cloaked in humility, and only at the doorstep do they become thunder. This letter is thunder wrapped in paper. This message is the roll of distant drums calling you to the gate. I speak with love that is stern. Do not doubt me just because you did not script this scene. I am the author who surprises his own characters, not to frighten them, but to free them from small plots into larger truth. You ask, why a letter? Why not just a voice, a dream, a sudden deposit in my hand? Because letters endure momentary storms. Because a letter can be held against your chest and reread until the ink becomes part of your memory. Because written truth, sealed by purpose, becomes a witness you can point to when the air fills with counterarguments. This letter is a witness. It carries a portion of what has been delayed, diverted, and disputed over your life. It announces a turning where the slow machinery of injustice finally groans and yields to my decree. It speaks of an inheritance not only of resources, but of position, place, and promise. Remember, gold is only one syllable in a long sentence. I am giving you the full sentence. You think you know the sender. You will be surprised. You have associated that name with silence, or with sorrow, or with conflict and smoke. But I am a gardener who grows roses from the ash heap. What was once a place of shouting becomes a place of soft words written by a hand that trembles with awakening. Do not despise awakenings in others just because they are late. I am Lord of timing, and mercy arrived to their heart at a minute that still fits within the story I am telling with you. Forgive quickly. Read carefully. Bless what I have blessed. Archangel Michael has stood watch over the pathways around your home. He has pressed his heel upon the throat of the fear that prowled under your bed at night whispering, "It will never change, it will never change." He silenced that chant and raised my banner over your threshold. I allowed him to see the envelope pass from one hand to another, to follow it along its earthly route, to guard it from meddling fingers. There were attempts. There were thoughts of interception and plans sketched in rooms where jealousy is the wallpaper and bitterness is the light. But no hand can cancel what I have commanded forward. Michael stands now, armor bright, saying clearly to your spirit, "Be steady." There are only minutes, but these minutes are yours. Stand steady and let what is coming, come. Do not be afraid of good news. Some hearts flinch even at joy because they learn to expect the floor to break. I am your floor. I am your ground. The blessing that approaches is not a trap, it is not bait. It is not a cruel rehearsal of hope only to mock you later. This is repair. This is the balancing of a scale you tried so hard not to stare at. This is the hand of Jesus lifting what sagged and straightening what bent under decades of maybe later. I am not the God of maybe. I am the God of yes and amen, and this yes has a postal mark.